That's a quote I just received from one of my clients named Melissa Stewart. And as hard as it must be for you to believe, I get quotes like that all the time. But no matter how many times it happens, it never ceases to make me smile. And I'm about to make you smile too. Because if you stick around for just a couple of minutes on this short and shocking video, you're going to learn a weird and totally unknown way I lost 2 inches off my waistline in just 7 days and 6 inches in just 2 weeks. And you'll do it without ab crunches, without counting calories, without gastric bypass surgery, and without any extreme cardio routines, such as CrossFit, P90X, or Insanity. And you'll do it while still eating your favorite foods. Foods like brownies, pizza, cheesecake, and ice cream. In fact, none of these foods will spoil your weight loss. I don't expect you to believe any of that. I just ask that you give me a chance to explain. I know your eyes probably rolled over with the claim I just made, and the words, "Here we go again, another fad diet that doesn't work." And that's because the vast majority of people making promises like these have no scientific data to back it up. They are not real weight loss sufferers or experts. They're marketers, basically just throwing up Photoshop before and after photos to make a buck. Their hype and bull angers me just as much as it angers you. And if you're ready to cut through all of that clutter and get to the real truth about weight loss, you're in exactly the right place. Hi, I'm Chrissy Miller. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a guest lecturer at Yale University. But you know what I am? I'm you. I'm a real woman, not an actor. I'm 43 years old. I've had 3 babies, each of which added about 20 pounds. And because of that, I know exactly what you're going through. The shame, the pants you can't fit into, the binging, the scale anxiety. I get it. I care about it. And I care about you. Just as much as I care about my own weight loss. I guess I was just born that way. I like helping people. And that's the only reason I'm here today talking to you. The work I've done until now has made some waves that I'm proud of. Bodybuilders Daily called me the woman who's 5 years ahead of the weight loss industry. I love that compliment. And maybe that's because I don't leave it to the men in white lab coats to tell me what works. I find out what works through my own experience, the experience of my clients that I keep very close contact with. Do you think the scientists, with all the grants they have, take the time to really listen to the woman to find out why she failed? Or is she just another statistic? And to me, finding what really works for the average woman isn't something we can wait for. I know we don't always see it this way, but the weight loss problem is an epidemic which is literally killing us by the millions. Because absolutely every disease known to man is made worse by being overweight. What really bothered me about the weight loss problem is that we have so many diets. And the truth is, many of them work, but nobody is sticking to them for more than a month. This happened to me. Yes, I counted. 19 times I tried 19 diets. And the longest I stayed on any of them was 3 months. And I almost gave up and decided I was going to die fat. But I still had a little more fight left in me. I figured if I'm going to stay on a diet, I needed a solution that was easier, more fun, and more effortless. That way, a diet would become something people could actually stick to for life without being miserable. Is that too much to ask? Well, guess what? I found that solution, and I'm going to share it with you in just a second. It's the most exciting breakthrough in weight loss I've seen in over 10 years. So get focused, shut off your smartphone, close the door, and get a pen and paper. And make sure you stick this video out until the very end. I promise you won't regret it. In fact, the end of this video may decide whether you struggle with your love handles forever or if you enjoy a slim and sexy life. You're going to learn that hitting your weight loss goals is a lot easier than you ever thought. You're going to learn how, with a few tweaks, you can actually eat all of your favorite foods, including chocolate, grilled cheese, and sushi, and continue losing weight. That's right. The same foods that have been destroying your diets will actually become part of your weight loss plan. I know how crazy that sounds, and I don't blame you. After all, the very first thing we're told when we start any diet is to eliminate these foods from our life. But ask yourself, where has that gotten us? With 34% of Americans obese, that's where this advice has gotten us. And why would you expect anything different? If these foods really are our favorite foods, how can we expect someone to stop eating them for the rest of their lives and think that's going to work? Every single diet out there, by its very nature, is set up to fail before they even get off the ground. Sure, most folks can give up those foods for a little while, but there's a pattern there. There are well-grooved neural pathways that want and need those favorite foods, especially when you're stressed out, which we all are at times. So it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but eventually the craving wins the day. It's just basic psychology. The idea of slim, sexy bodies someday in the future is great, but it just can't compete with the double-decker chocolate fudge cake with frosting that's in front of us right now. So until today, we've all been stuck in a can't-have-it-all situation. We can either have the pleasure of our favorite foods or the pleasure of a great body. Not both. It's a problem, and a problem that was ruining my marriage, sucking the confidence right from under me. Peace and happiness in my life was gone. And honestly, I didn't know where to turn. Because even the nutritionists had failed me. And I tried many. I didn't just get fat from these pregnancies. I blew up. I mean, it was worth it. Don't get me wrong. Have a look. My daughter, Rebecca, is 11 now. My other daughter, Chris, is 9. And my daughter, Sophie, at 5 years old. After Sophie, I weighed in at 182 pounds, and I couldn't lose it. It was around that time I came down for water late at night, and I caught my husband, Jerry, ogling at scantily clad girls on Instagram. He claims he clicked the wrong link. Guess what? I look back at the history. Every girl he was watching was skinny. Skinnier than I was anyways. Gross. He had never done anything like this before. But then I realized we really weren't having sex as much as we used to. I cornered him at one point and asked him point blank, "Are you still attracted to me? I mean, I'm nowhere near petite." I could tell he wanted to crawl into a hole. "Of course I am, honey. What do you mean? I've been attracted to you from day one." After I thought about it, I realized he had just said he was attracted to me on day one. That was the emphasis. No comments specifically about today. I didn't believe him anymore and got uncomfortable being naked in front of him. And when the intimacy falls apart, the whole marriage drops. We all know that. We started pulling further and further apart to the point we had nothing to talk about but the kids. Us didn't exist anymore. And that hurt like hell. Every time I heard the garage door open, I used to get excited. Now I was wishing he had stayed late.